Hello, I'm Kenneth Arts, Bureau Chief at Texas Lawyer. Welcome to the 2020 Texas Legal Awards. Co-hosting with me today is Joe Komick, ALM's Awards Program Manager. Of course, we'd rather be doing this in person, but we're still grateful to be together this way to recognize the achievements of our region's legal community. You certainly accomplished a lot last year, and we appreciate you sharing your successes with us. We'll now run through each of our categories during this virtual announcement, and you'll hear directly from some of our honorees about their experiences. Many of our viewers will be hearing today for the first time that they are receiving awards. If you're one of them, then congratulations. Our business department will be in touch following this broadcast to discuss promotional opportunities with you. Thanks for joining us. I hope you enjoy the show.
Thanks, Ken, and welcome everybody. I'm Joe Kornick, Director of Recognition Events at ALM. Our first award is On the Rise. Congratulations to the following individuals, all under the age of 40, who have wielded influence in their practice areas in Texas and beyond. The honorees are Christopher Bieza, Skadden, Arps, Slate, Meager, and Flom; John Bain, Aiken, Gump, Strauss, Hauer, and Feld; Becky Baker, Bracewell; Michael H. Burnick, Reed Smith; Heath Cheek, Bell Nunnally; Kevin Cruz, Kirkland and Ellis; Sarah Cummings, Reed Smith; Nick Desi, Latham and Watkins; Andrew Alkery, Mayor Brown; Isaac Grisbaum, Winston and Strawn; Spencer Hamilton, Denton's US; Krista P. Hanby, Gibson, Dunn and Crutcher; Thomas Haskins, Barnes and Thornburg; Marty Hopkins, Eversheds, Sutherland; Jennifer Klein Ayers; Shepard, Mullen, Richter, and Hampton; Lauren Copa, Perkins Co.; Cynthia Mabry, Aiken, Gump, Strauss, Hauer, and Feld; Rex Mann, Winston and Strawn; Tressa McKean, Fox Rothschild; Rockio Mendoza, Baker McKenzie;
Tez Paranjipe, Maharas Rumkey;
Andrea Perez, Carrington, Coleman, Sloman, and Blumenthal; Derek Pershing, Winston, Cribbs, and Gorin; Kristen Rochelle, King and Spalding; Tasha Schweikert, Monk, Wilson, Mandela; Jenny Simmons, Locke Lord; Stephanie Savinsky, Haynes and Boone; Jamie Vasquez, Chamberlain, Herdlicka; Sean Villery Samuel, Provost Humphrey; Evan Williams, Shepard, Mullen, Richter, and Hampton. Congratulations to all of our On the Rise winners.
Our next category is for the Attorney of the Year. There are 3 finalists for this category, and during this announcement, I will profile each finalist before announcing the winner at the end of the ceremony. Firstly, congratulations to finalist Dan Charest of Burns Charest. Dan was nominated as a finalist for his work on major litigation concerning flooding and property damage sustained by Houston area property owners during Hurricane Harvey, for securing a trial win when the U.S. Court of Federal Claims held the United States liable for the damage caused by the Army Corps of Engineers' management of the area's reservoirs. It's believed to be the largest Fifth Amendment takings case in history, and the result allows some 10,000 owners to recover damages.
Congratulations to Dan. This year, we introduced 3 new categories: Legal Innovators, In-House Impact, and Women in Energy. First, I will announce the award for Legal Innovators, for individuals who have come up with game-changing ideas for their practices or organizations and turn their vision into reality. Join me in congratulating Weldon Reed Almond Law Firm; David Quall, Lynn, Pinker, Hurst, and Schwegman; Susan Fortney, Texas A&M University School of Law; Rick Jordan, Polsonelli; John Finger, McGuire Woods.
Our second new category for 2020 is for In-House Impact, recognizing an in-house lawyer who had a significant accomplishment in 2019. Colin Roberts of Parsley Energy Incorporated, for leading Parsley's legal, risk, and communication teams during a challenging energy marketing last year through the company's merger with Jagged Peak Energy, as well as leading the company in contributing to environment and social governance initiatives. April Greenhouse, Metropolitan Transit Authority of Harris County, for her leadership regarding Metro's University District Autonomous Vehicle Project. Her forward-thinking ideas made Metro more accessible for the greater Houston community.
Our next category, also new in 2020, is for Women in Energy. We will recognize 3 in-house lawyers in the energy space who had a significant accomplishment in 2019. Nicole Eklund, Callan Petroleum, for her work in leading Callan Petroleum, most notably in the company's $3.2 billion acquisition of Carrizo Oil and Gas. Megan N. Eilers, Aventiv USA Inc., for her leadership in the merger of Newfield Exploration and Encana Corporation, and the rebranding of her company, Encana, to Aventiv. And last but not least, Denman Sigler, Baker McKenzie, the firm's North American energy transaction practice leader, where she led Baker McKenzie's team and her client, Creighton Corporation's sale of Dalem Industrial Company for $530 million.
I will now announce our second finalist for Attorney of the Year. This honoree led litigation that in October 2019 yielded a jury verdict and later a $438 million judgment for HP Incorporated, ultimately upheld by the Fifth Circuit in price-fixing litigation. The case involved a judge's closely watched decision trebling damages under the Clayton Antitrust Act. He also handled matters ranging from commercial, insurance and energy, to labor and employment and intellectual property in 2019. Congratulations, Alistair Dawson of Beck Redden. We will now hear from Alistair in response to his nomination.
Good evening. My name is Alistair Dawson, and I'm a trial attorney at Beck Redden. Thank you all for joining us this evening for this lovely event. I'm disappointed that we cannot meet in person, but hope that we will be able to do so next year. I am honored and humbled to be a finalist for the Lawyer of the Year award, and I'd like to thank the Texas Lawyer for selecting me. I congratulate my fellow finalists and all of the other nominees this evening and wish everyone the best of luck. The victory in the HP versus Quanta Storage case in October 2019 was the accomplishment that defined 2019 for me. For many years, foreign suppliers to computer companies like HP and Dell had been violating U.S. antitrust laws by agreeing among themselves to charge higher prices for the components that they sold to American companies. Because of these illegal price-fixing conspiracies, companies like HP and Dell suffered millions of dollars in damages. HP filed suit in 2015 against the foreign suppliers of its optical disk drives, the CD and DVD drives that were included in their computers. HP alleged that these foreign suppliers violated the Sherman Antitrust Act by entering into a price-fixing conspiracy. The case took 4 years to develop, but in October 2019, we presented our evidence of the conspiracy to a jury in Houston, Texas, and that jury found in HP's favor and awarded HP $176 million in damages. Because violations of the antitrust laws allow the judge to triple the damages, United States District Judge David Hittner entered a judgment for HP for $438 million. And that judgment was recently upheld by the Fifth Circuit, one of the largest verdicts ever upheld by that court. Winning this case for HP was a team effort, and I am very thankful for the Beck Redden team of Russell Post, Alex Roberts, Parth Gedji, and Garrett Brawley, all of whom contributed in significant ways to this wonderful result for our client. To be an excellent lawyer, you must employ sound judgment, work hard, and have an excellent team. Sound judgment requires lawyers to analyze the options that are available in any given situation and consider the relative pros and cons involved in every strategic decision made in your representation. In litigation, do you file in state court or federal court? Do you file a motion to dismiss? Do you file a motion for a partial summary judgment? Who do you depose first? And things of this nature. An excellent lawyer will think through all of these decisions, think through all of these issues, and do his or her best to make the right decision. Now, working hard is self-evident. An excellent lawyer will leave no stone unturned and will take no shortcuts. And third, it is important, very important, to build the right team and build an excellent team, thinking of all angles from administrative support through trial and appeal. Each of these roles is important, and an excellent lawyer will think through what team he or she needs and put together that team to prosecute or defend the case. My advice to young lawyers would be to work hard, make the right judgment calls, and always conduct yourself as the consummate professional. There is no substitute for hard work. We have an obligation to zealously represent our clients, and that requires hard work. So I recommend that you not take shortcuts and don't take anything for granted. And do not hesitate to seek advice from others if you have any questions or any doubt about what the best path forward is for your client. As you are representing your client, you should constantly analyze the decisions you are making and determine if they are the best decisions for that representation. In doing so, you should consider the alternatives and make an informed judgment about what is best for your client. You will not gain your client's respect by telling him or her what you think he or she wants to hear. They have hired you for your legal analysis, and that is what you should give them. Finally, your reputation will precede you, and you want to develop a reputation as a good lawyer who is fair and who can be trusted. It can take years to develop a good reputation, but a reputation can be forever tarnished by one bad decision. So take the high road. It's lonely up there, but it's the right road to take. Again, my thanks to the Texas Lawyer for hosting this wonderful event. Congratulations to all the award winners for their well-deserved honors and recognitions. Thank you.
Our litigation departments of the year have two distinct categories: a contest to award the top department in general litigation, as well as a contest to determine the top specialty practice groups. These awards aim to identify and reward powerhouse practices in our area. We will start with the litigation department of the year, mid-size firm. Please join me in congratulating Monk Wilson Mandela for its work on behalf of publisher Ben Balla in a high-profile defamation case, its precedent-setting victory on behalf of Lowe's Home Centers in a federal injury case, its defeat of a motion to compel arbitration in a large class action against a marketing company, its work in trade secrets litigation on behalf of Zotec Partners, and more.
Next up is the award for Litigation Department of the Year Small Firm. For their work in obtaining a $7.6 million award for a client in a fraudulent transfer case, for settlements on behalf of women, oil and gas executives, and a financial advisor in gender discrimination cases and other significant results, I'd like to congratulate Raghi Dunn Group.
Next up is the award for Litigation Department of the Year, IP Litigation. The winner is McCool Smith for obtaining an $85 million patent damages verdict in a client's suit against Apple over voice-over technology, among other notable awards to firm clients, successfully defending HTC America in a patent trial that ended in a defense verdict, winning at trial for client Halliburton in a trade secrets case, and notching appellate victories on behalf of Ericsson and other clients.
Our final Litigation Department of the Year award focuses on products liability and mass tort. For Ranjpi Madahas Rumki, in addition to spearheading litigation claiming hundreds of millions of dollars in damages in connection with pipelines running through residential neighborhoods, as well as an allegedly defective heater, also prevailed for clients in premises liability, medical malpractice, and workplace injury cases in 2019.
The winners of the award for Diversity and Inclusion Champion are Michelle Early, Locke Lord, for leading the firm's Diversity and Inclusion Committee, with the firm receiving a 100% rating in the Human Rights Campaign Foundation's 2020 Corporate Equality Index for the 4th consecutive year. Dwight Francis, Shepard, Mullen, Richter, and Hampton for his work growing the firm as the lateral partner recruit chair in Dallas, with the firm hiring 55% women attorneys and attorneys of color. Daniela Landers, Reed Smith, for her work championing diversity, women's career advancement, and providing pro bono legal services, specifically her work with Leaders Circle of the Center for Women in Law at the University of Texas at Austin School of Law. William Monk Wilson Mandela, for helping to bring the She Summit to Dallas in 2018 and 19, a program dedicated to inclusive work culture. Eric Munoz, Aiken, Gump, Strauss, Hauer, and Feld, for his chair of the firm's Diversity and Inclusion Committee, where he led the expansion of the Houston Committee, developed the Mentoring Circles program in 2019, and increased the firm's presence at the Texas Minority Council program. Amber Rogers, Hunton Andrews Kurth, for founding NEW, the Network of Empowered Women Roundtable, to focus on influencing and empowering Black women lawyers.
The winners for the most effective deal makers are Douglas Bacon of Kirkland & Ellis for advising no less than 10 public energy M&A deals collectively worth billions in 2019, including Parsley Energy's $2.27 billion merger with Jagged Peak. Michael Chambers of Latham & Watkins for advising upward of 70 transactions worth a combined $35 billion since the start of 2019, including representing the underwriters on the $764 million IPO of Rattler Midstream. Sarah McLean of Sherman & Sterling for advising Oryx Midstream Services in its $3.6 billion sale to Stonepeak Infrastructure Partners, among numerous other lucrative deals, including for Gulftex Energy. Omar Samji of Sherman & Sterling for his representation of DTE Midstream in the $2.65 billion acquisition of several assets for Momentum 5, as well as deals on behalf of other clients like Frontier Midstream. I will now announce our third finalist for the Attorney of the Year, who co-chairs our firm's Dallas Women's Firm-Wide Resource Group and chairs the newly formed Parents and Caregivers FRG, also known as PC-FRG. She led the 2019 creation of the latter group, which proved timely and served the firm well heading into COVID-19. As a Vanguard cybersecurity lawyer in 2019, she took on lead counsel responsibility for designer Helen of Troy and notched victories for Allstate Insurance, Resolute Energy, and Centerpoint Energy, among others. On the pro bono side last year, she continued to represent detained immigrants, women and children through several Texas-based nonprofits. Congratulations to Michelle Reed of Aiken Group, Strauss, Hauer, and Feld. We will now hear from Michelle in response to her nomination.
Thank you. I'm honored to be recognized with these incredible nominees. My name is Michelle Reed, and I'm a partner at Aiken Gump. My greatest client accomplishment this year has been a hat trick of dismissals. One in a privacy class action for Allstate Insurance, and then 2 securities class action dismissals in Cimarex Energy and for the Conflicts Committee of Suncoke Energy. But this has been hard fought in a year defined by disruption. My greatest professional accomplishment has been leading parents and caregivers in redefining work for those with important caregiving obligations. In response to the pandemic, I spoke with lawyers from Dallas to New York to London, identifying ways to make serving our clients and serving our families compatible. Picture a mother with a 2-year-old child and a baby in her arms trying to complete and finalize a debt offering for a client in financial distress. Or another with an aging father in another state. We redoubled our efforts in staffing our teams so that parents could care for their most essential little clients and provided benefits to facilitate childcare and mental health. In disruption, we redefined what it means to be a lawyer, to care for our clients, our families, and our communities in a time of change. The most important elements of being an excellent lawyer are to actively listen and serve. We have a special role in administering justice. Listen to your clients and innovate practical solutions. Listen to your associates and find ways to build them up. Listen to your community and be the link to justice. We are the ambassadors of justice in our community. And my advice to someone entering the legal profession is to be prepared to pivot. There will be times when you face challenges, an area of law that's been commoditized, a practice group where you struggle to succeed. But to succeed, you must be willing to boldly pivot.
It's time for Top Women in IP. And the winners for the Top Women in IP are Amy Fagan, Nicole Smith. Fagan is the firm's lead counsel for client Halliburton and secured a defense victory for Halliburton against a former supplier litigating the case for 6 years. Ashley Moore, Nicole Smith. Moore served as lead counsel in a victory before the U.S. Court of Appeals for the Federal Circuit on behalf of patent owner Dr. Ford Albritton IV on an all-in-one device with all the essential tools needed for balloon sinuplasty. DJ Healy, Fish and Richardson. Powerhouse patent litigator, DJ Healy is one of the 4 founding members of the Nancy J. Atlas Houston Intellectual Property Inn of Court. Healy also leads the firm's Empower Women's Initiative in the Houston office. The honorees for the best mentors who have helped less experienced colleagues become better lawyers are Scott Ellis, Foley and Lardner. Houston hiring partner and certified mentor, Ellis mentored several energy practice associates as well as students at the University of Houston Law Center. George Garachis, Vincent and Elkins, for pushing new lawyers to develop their skills early in their careers and helping drive a strong retention rate for the firm. Mary Olga Lovett, Greenberg Trarig, Senior Vice President, co-leading the firm's development program for 800 plus associates, and for long being a leader in the firm's trial academy and advocating for more women and lawyers of color in first chair roles. Ruthie White, Spencer Fain, co-chair of the firm's labor and employment practice and founder of the Downtown Group, a Houston networking organization for African American women attorneys. She has been the catalyst for the advancement of many attorneys. And Tammy Wood, Bell Nunnally, head of the Litigation Group, for her work with volunteer organization Educational Opportunities for revamping and leading the firm's associate training and mentorship program, and more.
These next honorees, in a nutshell, have left a lasting imprint on the Texas legal community and in many cases beyond. We would now like to recognize them for their lifetime achievement. First, we recognize Larry Campagna of Chamberlain Herlica. Over his 4-decade-plus career, he has developed a sterling reputation as a civil and criminal litigator, representing taxpayers in historic victories, including winning damages in a 15-year case against the IRS for the wrongful disclosure of a taxpayer's confidential information. We would also like to recognize Christine LaFollette of Aiken, Gump, Strauss, Hauer, and Feld for mixing impressive energy deal-making, once advising $28 billion in transactions over a 2-year period, with office and firm leadership and business generation ability to go along with driving significant progress on diversity inside and outside the firm. Our next honoree is Ricky Raven of Reed Smith. Ricky, a former federal prosecutor, is well known as a go-to trial counsel for products liability and mass tort litigation, having first chaired more than 120 jury trials to verdict. He has served as trial counsel for Honeywell International for more than 25 years, notching victories in multiple jurisdictions along the way. Mary Yates of Vincent and Elkins is another lifetime achiever because she has argued more than 130 cases before appellate courts nationwide, including dozens of times at the Texas Supreme Court. More than that, she helped build the practice she now co-chairs, including her 1994 victory on behalf of Unocal, securing reversal of an $80 million judgment against the oil company. Congratulations also to A. Martin Wycliffe Jr., Cozen and Connor. He is credited with being one of the first African-American attorneys in big law in Texas, ascending quickly and building employment practices at Fulbright and Jaworski and Mayor Day and Caldwell before founding and growing the state's largest minority-owned law firm, Wycliffe and Hall. He later moved to Epstein Becker Green serving leadership roles before joining Cozen O'Connor in 2011. Last but not least, Jane Macon of Bracewell is also awarded for her lifetime achievement. After being the first woman to lead the San Antonio City Attorney's Office, she went on to build a formidable private practice representing government entities of all sizes, including the Housing Authority of El Paso, in connection with the largest rental assistance rehabilitation project in U.S. history in 2015. We'll now hear from Jane Macon about her achievements.
Okay, we're visiting with my dear friend Jane Macon, who does so much for the community of San Antonio and South Central Texas. Jane, tell us a little bit about what you can tell people, young ladies and young men who would like to follow in your footsteps, contribute to the community, study law. What advice do you have for them?
Well, show up, for starters.
Show up.
Answer the phone or answer the text and respond. And then don't wait for somebody to ask you to do it. Volunteer.
It's so simple to say show up. What does that mean?
Well, what that means is it may not be early in the morning your cup of tea to get out of bed at 6 o'clock and go to a breakfast meeting. But if other people can do it, you can do it. And if it's in the evening, you may be tired, but just drink a cup of coffee and just keep going.
So be reliable in attending events and opportunities that you said you'd attend.
Well, and you look for the daylight. You look for trying to figure out what the solutions are. And that's what I love about San Antonio is that we all work together, whether it's Mayor Nuremberg or whether it's Secretary Cisneros or Senator Monfort. They've all contributed their entire lives, and they all look for an opportunity to find an answer.
Some people describe that opportunity as investing. If you want to withdraw, you have to invest. Is that what you're talking about?
Absolutely. You've got to make the commitment. And with that, it takes some energy, some daylight of looking forward, and just be sensible and have common sense. You don't have to be a judge or a trial lawyer. You can just be a normal person that has common sense and wants to arrive at a solution for I call it the greater good.
Jane Macon, you make San Antonio and South Texas better yourself. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Thank you.
Attorney of the Year. This attorney's range of victories over the course of 2019 and the sheer impact of those victories to clients, including property owners and detainees, in addition to Facebook users and natural resources sector clients, are truly distinguished accomplishments. Congratulations to the winner for Attorney of the Year, Daniel Cheris of Burns Cheris.
Well, I want to say thank you to ALM and Texas Lawyer for selecting me as the Lawyer of the Year for 2020. After the wow part of that wears away, I'm left with a sincere and deep gratitude. Gratitude is to the lawyers that I've worked with, that taught me the trade, and I would be remiss if I didn't mention Steve Sussman, who passed this year, as one of the key points of that. Gratitude to my co-workers, my partners, and the associates here at the firm. We've got a young firm, but we're building a really excellent team. Gratitude to the clients who trust us with their life and their work and their efforts to guide them through. Their win is our win. And finally, gratitude to my family. We know the work it takes as lawyers, but it takes that same level of sacrifice from the family. So my wife and kids, thank you very much. And thank you all.
Well, ladies and gentlemen, that concludes the Texas Legal Awards for 2020. Thank you to all our sponsors, winners, and to everyone watching virtually. If you were named a winner during this broadcast, our business department will be in touch shortly with further details on how to promote your success. We do hope to be able to celebrate together next year, but in the meantime, we wish you all the best for the rest of 2020. So long.